Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday, November 13th, 2020. Great day to be a junior Potter here in class. What we're going to be doing today, I'm going to show you the mitosis internet activity part A, where you're going to be using the microscopes. I'm going to show you what it looks like underneath the microscope since you won't be able to do it there at home. And I'll tell you how you can complete the microscope mitosis activity. We have a workaround for you at home to be able to do that. So without further ado, let me transition it over to my microscope here. What we're going to be looking at here is a onion root tip. You can start to see all the little nuclei. Those are the dots popping up there as the nuclei. We're going to focus in on some cells here up close. But first, where you can find all this stuff, let me transition back because, hey, might as well pull up some of this stuff. You need to go to the Tuesday, Thursday folder in, go ahead and pop over Schoology, Thursday, Friday. Also remember there's a bell ringer for Friday here, boom, right there. And you want the assignment microscope internet mitosis, open that up. Today we are doing part A or day A, so there's day A. There's a little background information for you to read, and there's a couple of questions about said background, so you need to answer up some background questions. Now, here's where things will change a little bit for you because you will not be able to do this part because you don't have the microscope there. So I'm going to show you using my microscope, and I'm going to show you how you're going to get your picture taken because when you read through this, you're going to take a picture of the cells going through mitosis here. So this is on low power. Let's increase it to some medium power here. Even then, you might not really be able to see too much. Let's try going high power all the way with it there. There we go. There's some good high-powered shots happening. Booyakasha. How we have things going on. All right, so there you can kind of see a couple of them going on in action. We see a lot of interphase happening, but you are able to see up in the top, this corner, I guess it would be your top right corner, right above me almost, all the way up. You can see a couple of cells going through anaphase because they are separating apart. They're going from opposite sides there. So there's a good picture of an anaphase. Dab on those haters right there. We've got some prophase happening over here, kind of right above my head, right smack dab in the middle. You got some prophase because you can see that it's kind of broken up to where you can see the middle part of it. All the way at the top, if you go directly above me and go like, if you follow my fingers right there, about that one, if we're going up, that would be prophase because you can see it's kind of dissolved the nucleus. It's not a full intact circle. Like the ones over here are more fully intact. That would be just a normal interphase cell. If you go in this row, or I guess this would be a column, and you go all the way up to the very top, you can see that they're lined up in the middle. There would be a good metaphase happening. Let's see if we can find a good telophase. Telophase is maybe a little bit harder to find because it's hard to get a picture of them right before they split. So a lot of these telophases are just going to be hard to see because they pop right back into interphase so quickly. So to get a good snapshot of what a telophase would be, maybe we'll have to go towards the end here. All right, there you may see a couple of them going on there. Let's see if we can hit one of them up. All right. Found one there. Good. So if you look towards, let me get my right there, if I'm pointing correctly, you can kind of see two nuclei in one cell. That would be a good picture of a telophase. But you can almost see that they're already starting to go back into interphase and start the whole cycle over. So it's just really difficult to find a good one there. Now, since you aren't going to be here with us to be able to take these pictures on your own iPad, here's our solution to get you to get a good picture of these things and to be able to, oh, there's a good one right there. So if you go in this row and go up 2, you can see that there's kind of right at the end of telophase there. And right next to it, on the left side of it, is a good metaphase happening. So there's a telophase right next to a metaphase. So because you can't take a picture of it, let me transition back over into the other setup here. What you're going to do on Schoology is there is this thing that says QL, that's for quarantine learner there, and then microscope makeup picture. You can open up this file, and it's just a picture that I took earlier of a pretty good example that I had well zoomed in on the different phases. So you can save this image onto your tablet and then go into the editing features, and you should be able to mark up the same way that they'd be able to mark up any of their pictures that they would have taken. So in order to do that, this is instruction number 6. You go to your photos and edit the picture. You're going to use the markup ability, and you're going to draw circles around an example of each one of the 5 phases. You're going to pick a different color for each phase to make it easier to recognize, and you're going to label each one. So you'll have a color that represents interphase, and you're also going to label it as an I for interphase. You're going to have a color for prophase and label it P next to prophase. You're going to have an M for metaphase, A for anaphase, T for telophase, etc., etc., etc. For each one of our 5. You just have to find one example. And with my picture that I have here, there's at least one good example in each one of them, because this was just a really good one that I ended up focusing in on and took a picture of there. You're going to put your labeled root tip picture here. And then there is a couple of post-lab questions for you to think about and to answer, obviously, but think about them first before you answer them. There is then a small little reading passage for you to answer 5 questions about at the very end. Some other things dealing with trying to connect our mitosis with some of our things that we already talked about involving cells, involving the cell theory, and some of the other things that go along with it. So that is our kind of rundown of what you need to do for the lab. If you have any questions, make sure to send them my way. I will be glad to answer them up for you. It's a shame that you won't be able to be here in class, but hopefully you're seeing some of these microscope images here kind of get in play there for you. There's our metaphase again there. But you can see there's a lot of cells in there. The reason why we use the root tip is because they're growing. Because they're growing so quickly, we're able to capture more of the phases happening at one time. Oh, there's a couple of good telophases right there. So right next to me in the picture right here, like almost right where I'm pointing, that's a good telophase. Right above me and kind of up towards the top is another good telophase. So yeah, some good stuff tonight, or good times rolling. So once you're done with the assignment, I'll transition back over. Once you're done with the assignment, make sure you've also completed part B. We went over that yesterday, so if you didn't do that part, make sure you double back and do the internet activity that goes along with this for day B. We did that on Thursday, so the Thursday instructions are on there to go how to complete that. Hopefully, we'll see you back here next week, but if not, there will be more videos to come next week. Hopefully, you're taking care of yourselves out there. Remember to submit everything when you're done, and I will see you later. Have a good one.